In the beginning, tarot can be looked upon from a deep state of contemplation. It's a meditation of sorts, a window into the many future probabilities, recognizing on the one hand what you want and on the other what's being made available to you. It's an open request to divinity for guidance. The archetypes that are found within the tarot deck, especially the major arcana, these archetypes love to hide themselves, love to hide their deeper meaning. But at the same time, they can't wait to reveal themselves. Something that they do little by little. And the more we meditate on them, and the more research we do, the more they open themselves up, slowly released from the spiritual realms into the subconscious, and from the subconscious released into the everyday waking conscious state. The mastery over the balancing of these two states, the conscious and subconscious, is also something that's acquired little by little. As we learn to navigate our constant oscillation between the one and the other, just as we're continuously oscillating between the dominance of the body and the dominance of the mind. You could look at these contradictions as division, but ultimately at the higher, more subtle levels, the contradictions are unity. The more we marry the two hemispheres together, the more this state of unity will be experienced. No longer just the specialized analytic tasks of the left hemisphere, nor just the blurry unspecified complementary functions of dealing with wholes rather than parts that come with the right hemisphere, but rather a blissful mix of the two. Before you know it, you'll find yourself swinging between the two states. To the left, you could just as suddenly find yourself in a Pythagorean realm, perceiving everything through the lens of numbers. But even in this tangible world of numbers, you'll just as suddenly find yourself swinging towards the other side, until experiences become transcendent, go far beyond simple categorization. And now you're in the right hemisphere, where you see that reality is based in legend, and legend is based on nature, and the observation of nature, and that poetry is an imitation of nature, and that the world of archetypes is poetry made visible, mimicking the natural world, not only in its infinite wonder, but also in its scientific and calculable exactness. Inside real time, in the precise measurements of the stars' movements, in its cyclical movements and intelligible rhythms. The intelligible rhythm that is poetry, the cyclical narrative of sacred scripture, which is completely immersed in the world of archetypal knowledge, boiled all the way down into a small deck of cards, an imitation of the biological and cosmological natural cycles, synchronized perfectly within the visual spectrum of the subconscious primitive human landscape. Ultimately, though, each one of us is only capable of receiving what we're capable of absorbing. So if we follow too rigidly the dictates of modern man, modern science, we'll find ourselves completely shutting out of our lives everything that can't be measured. At the same time, if we don't take advantage of the scientific knowledge at our disposal and reject all intellectual advances, we'll soon revert back to believing that rain is some deity's tears, and that every storm and thunderclap must be God's wrath against us. The key to continuously receiving information from both hemispheres lies in what has been popularly termed the alchemical marriage, basically consisting of the peaceable coming together of both hemispheres of the mind. The waking life and the dreaming life, the logical and the intuitive, the conscious and the subconscious, the male and the female, all coming together for the same unified purpose of finding a real and tangible and lasting happiness right here on this earth realm. For sure, it's a dangerous journey, and we have to learn how to discern truths from falsehoods. Both truths and falsehoods are found everywhere around us, not just in the obvious control mechanisms and the pseudosciences, but even artists. Even the greats often become the greatest gatekeepers. It's important to listen and to receive, but also to discern. So one must connect oneself to the temporal rhythm as one's own self experiences it. To connect with the Creator and breathe everything in, both in dreamful sleep and in waking reality. To observe the comings and goings of day and night, and summers and winters, of the whole outer environment and of the whole inner environment, where myth is truth and truth turns into myth, and we become the mythical hero of our own story. Mythos and logos all in one. In what we notice more and more is an ever-loving universe.